Jack Neo and Royston dominate the Singapore box office with Abeng and Alien movies. So how about an atas film for a change? Starring the who's who of Singapore theatre, The Blue Mansion is about a wealthy man who is murdered in his study, but his ghost remains to find out who did it.
I'm dead?
Director Glen Goei has gone against the grain with a Singapore murder mystery that brims with crisp English accents and British wit. Isn't this all too atas for Singapore audiences?
Oh, I don't think it's that atas. I mean, I grew up on Monty Python, and Monty Python is hugely accessible, and everyone adores Monty Python, you know. And even though Monty Python was 25, 30 years ago, people watch it today of all walks and races and educational backgrounds. They get it.
That's right.
Because it's silly and it's irony. You know, it doesn't take an educated person to appreciate irony, actually.
Well, do you think that's too highbrow for say, like the local audiences? You know?
I don't think so at all, actually. I was surprised because I met somebody from Indonesia just 2 days ago who had seen the film, and he doesn't even come from the same background as same educational background as we do in Singapore. You know, the British education that we get, and he got every nuance and every joke.
With Jack Neo making profitable films about Singapore for Singaporeans, who exactly is Goei making this film for?
I mean, I make films at the end of the day for anyone who likes a good story, who likes a good tale. And, you know, I at the end of the day, I believe in making universal stories. Stories which transcend race, religion, background, countries. Yeah.
Okay, so are you thinking of Blue Mansions like a crossover hit, like say Joy Luck Club, you know?
I don't make films thinking about where the film's going to sell. Ultimately, I have to be key to the integrity of the story, and that's my focus. That's my main goal, you know, to keep the integrity of the story and what the story wants to say.
So with the emphasis on proper English in The Blue Mansion, Razor TV asked what Glenn thought about the former Miss Singapore World Riz Low, whose use of the English language left a lot to be desired.
I mean, she's the product of her education and her background, you know. I don't think one should laugh at it because, you know, she's you know, that's who she is, you know. Those are her... I don't know what her education and what her background is, but you know, I don't think one should laugh at somebody just because he can't speak English properly, what we call properly. I mean, you know, if I was learning Japanese and living in Japan, I'm sure they'll be laughing at my Japanese, you know what I mean? Or if I can't speak Chinese, for example, and if I spoke Chinese, all the Chinese people would be laughing at me, you know. But it's just a lot to do with her background and her education, you know. I don't think we should laugh at that.
Glen Goei's first and last film was 1998's Forever Fever, and following the film's success, Miramax Film signed Goei to an exclusive 3-picture deal which has since borne no fruit. The filmmaker also intended to make a film adaptation of a Singaporean novel, Spider Boys. So what happened, Glenn?
With Spider Boys, actually, you know, Forever Fever came out of the fact that I didn't make Spider Boys. Spider Boys is always my original intention as my first film. But I couldn't find the actors in Singapore or Malaysia to fill those roles, and I felt that if I can't find that caliber of acting I was looking for, then I wasn't going to make the film because it would fail. And that's how I came about writing Forever Fever. Now, my 3-picture deal with Miramax, not really a 3-picture deal, it was actually a 3-picture for a 5-year contract with them. And I worked with Miramax in New York, and they flew me in and out. I had pitched them ideas, stories, one of which they liked, and I worked with a writer in New York writing this film. It never materialized. A lot of films in Hollywood, a lot of scripts in Hollywood take years and years to develop and a lot of money, but maybe 1 out of 100 actually gets made into a film. So I was in development hell, is what they call it in Hollywood. Yeah.
And
so the contracts ended.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. So that settles it.
Yeah.
So will it take another decade before we see another Glen Goei film?
I hope not.
You're
I hope
supposed to go to
not.
Australia to make another film?
I know we're still waiting for financing on that. Okay. Oh, very good, your research, huh? Very, very good. It's called Jimmy's Run, and we're hoping to. We're still trying to raise financing for that. That's a great story as well.
Can you tease the story?
It's called Jimmy's Run, and it's about an Aboriginal boy who discovers his gift for running. Because he delivers letters. He's a post boy, and he just discovers his talent for running. So it's got wonderful images of the Australian outback and desert of him running. I can't wait to make that film.
And we can't wait to see it. We now leave you with some sage advice from the filmmaker himself.
People always tell you, or filmmakers always tell you, that raising money is very, very difficult. But I believe that when you have a good script, and you have good story, good script, you will find the money.
Husband and wife Lim Kay Siu and Neo Siew Lin play siblings in the Blue Mansion. In the next clip, the veteran actors share with us the experience of working on a Hollywood production.
And there's some wonderful people, but some people land in looking like, hey, do you speak English? And he's like, oh, you need to treat me like that.